Stress, anxiety, panic attacks, all common occurrences if you're a college student, and now you can add another name to the list, depression. According to a recent survey conducted by the National Institute of Mental Health, who said out of 21 million or so students enrolled in American universities this year, which is approximately 30%, suffer from depression. This is a condition so common, the National Alliance on Mental Illness determined it to account for approximately 27% of all mental illness disorders college students suffered from in the last few years. With the nearest facility that offered psychiatric care being 20 miles away in Rochester, there wasn't much help for the students at Brockport. That was until 10 years ago when Elizabeth Caruso arrived, the current director of the Hazen Center for Integrated Care, which is an on-campus resource that provides general medical and psychiatric care. Hazen wasn't then what it is now, though, according to Caruso.
That wasn't here. We had maybe 4 counselors. At one point, we were down to like two counselors. It was pretty grim. And then starting to build and bring in an associate director and really building a program that is, I think we're probably one of the in the forefront of SUNY of how we are approaching this. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think one thing I didn't talk about was Hazen's integration, and we have done that over the last 10 years, so that in the process of building some of our services, we also integrated health and mental health and counseling, so that we're not, and prevention outreach. So they don't exist, they coexist. They're not separate things. So when you're not feeling well mentally, you may well not be feeling well physically, and vice versa. So we meet and we talk and we share and we learn from each other. That is a complete difference of 15 years ago or more. So when people didn't speak about anything in different sides of the same building and you never shared information about anything, now we really talk about what's the best care for that particular student and using different modalities. So it's good.
Caruso cites these conditions to the ongoing stigma in our society where mental health seems to take a backseat to physical health. Despite all of this, the Hazen Center has grown.
Well, I think that some people think they can't use Hazen. A large number of students think for some reason they say, well, I would have gone there, but I don't have insurance. I don't have this, I don't have that. They don't get that this resource is here for them.
Hazen now has a full-time staff of 12 people, all capable of dealing with a multitude of student issues. The issues you encounter are often so similar and common.
The issues that they're seeing, well, typically they see adjustment disorders. That's a big one. So just people, changes in life, and that's a lot of being 18 to 22 years old. Adjustment disorder, depression and anxiety, very, very high. That's not uncommon. It's certainly not more common in Brockport than anywhere else. But I think we're a very stressed society, and we don't tend to deal well with those stressors. We kind of engage with them, and instead of trying to find ways around dealing with stressful things in a more healthy way.
According to Caruso, the typical age of people who are going to have a big psychiatric issue begin to show signs between the ages of 16 and 25. Therefore, it's crucial for these counselors to not only catch the problems early, but also be able to give real help to these very real issues.
Well, many college students, this is a typical age for people who are going to have a big psychiatric issue, like genetically they're wired for that. That often will happen between the ages of 16 and 25. That's pretty well known. So those conditions may have the first break in that time psychiatrically. It's very important for us to recognize that and to catch that early, because the outcomes tend to be better when that happens. So we want to be aware of that. We want to catch it, and we want to recognize it when we see it and get that person evaluated elsewhere. So that's very important. That's something special in this age range. But other things that go on, I mean, think about what you're in that age range. Think about the things that are going on in life that some people deal with better based on, either their own genetics or their own physiologic makeup or their history socially and economically. So you would be amazed at the burdens that some of our students carry that you wouldn't know just by looking at them. They have some fascinating backgrounds, and they can be very, very resilient.
For one Brockport senior, depression almost ruined her college career. On the first day of her freshman year, Danielle received some devastating news.
Okay, so the night before I started college, my freshman year, my uncle was found dead, and I didn't want to stay at college. I wanted to go home. And my RA took me to the counseling center because obviously it was a new adjustment to college and just finding out that like my dad was dead. So I went to the counseling center, and then I've gone at least 3 times a year every academic year since.
It's helping students cope with and resolve issues like this, Crusoe says, that makes her job worth it in the end.
We're really happy to be able to help people get through this. So they can get through this and get into the workforce and make something of life. It's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, that is